What's going on, good people? Happy Friday. Welcome to Live at Lunch. My name is Marcus Thomas. You can call me Coach Marcus. We are doing it here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on your lunchtime. And I promise I will have you out of here by 12:50. You have plenty of time. Finish your lunch, wash your hands, and clock back in. That's how we getting it done right about now. Saying what's up to all the good people. Just having a good time. A lot of things have been going on. Um, The NFL is the gift that keeps on giving. It's about to be track season. The Sixers, Joel Embiid gets hurt. It's like every day is something, man. Every day is something. And for the last couple of days, it just seems like as far as Philly fans, we can't have nice things. You know what I'm saying? So, but it is what it is. We're still getting it done. I haven't heard too much Eagles news today, but everybody's gearing up for the Super Bowl. I don't know if anybody saw the skills competition in the Pro Bowl. That was funny. The Pro Bowl has just turned into something like I don't know what it is anymore. It's not even really fun watching. It was fun with Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey has become the personality in the NFL right now. He is the guy that you want to watch. People, even people that are not involved with football, are liking Jason Kelsey. So it's crazy. But I mean, I guess that's the way that it is right now. He's definitely the personality, and he's becoming that dude for interviews and people you want to be, and you know, he has become the good face of the NFL right now. It's pretty interesting to see that. He was all we all knew in Philadelphia. He was a good dude. He's going to retire an Eagle, meaning that he has spent his whole career, Hall of Fame career, as an Eagle. We still don't know what he's going to do for next year, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You know what I mean? So, but he's been getting the lion's share of the attention. He stole the spotlight in skills competition where he was trying to snap the ball through the 5-point hole in the skills competition at the Pro Bowl, man. And then everything that happened with Jalen Hurts down there, that was funny. I haven't watched the Pro Bowl in I don't know how long. It's been a long time because it's just not fun to watch. When I was playing, the Pro Bowl was a game, and the unwritten rule of the Pro Bowl was the first half they would be kind of BSing around, and the games would be tight, and they would do that on purpose. And then the second half was kind of now we playing for the money because everybody wanted that playoff winning check. And I believe back then, I want to say the winning check was like 35 grand and the loser got 15 or something. It was some crazy amount of money that the guys got for going to the Pro Bowl. And then basically it would just cover their expenses. If you lost, you won enough money to cover your expenses. If you won, you had enough money to cover your expenses and then some. So it was like the second half, everybody woke up because they was playing for that money. But now you can't even do that, man. Everybody's worried about getting hurt. They got flag football and skills competition. They may as well just make it a giant autograph session. I mean, essentially, that's what it is. It's a shame that they took it out of Hawaii, but I guess that got too expensive. I guess I don't know. They wanted to move it around and give other people access to it. But I thought it had some type of mystique and some type of, a little bit of cachet in Hawaii. But they going for the money. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was fun. So, and I'm looking at the news right now on my other screen. I don't see too much news on the Eagles right now. I know they still talking about if Bill Belichick was here. The thing with Bill Belichick, everybody knows if Bill Belichick was to come here, that would be, in my opinion, that would be a problem with Howie Roseman. Because you already know Belichick is going to want some type of GM type control over draft picks and things of that nature. And Howie ain't giving that up. At least I don't think he would. He went through that situation once with Chip Kelly, and that didn't end well for him. And even though he was ultimately in the right or came out on top, I don't think he would want to go through that again, and he wouldn't. He would probably leave before something like that happened. And I don't think Lurie is that I guess hungry for power. That's not even the right phrase of it. I don't think Lurie wants to go through that again either, because again, and I've been saying this for a while, you got to look at Howie Roseman's batting average. He is above board and going to the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? Because Howie's been getting some hits. He's had some misses, but for the most part, Howie Roseman's been knocking out of the park when it comes to free agent signings and trying to fill gaps. And it doesn't always work out, but he makes the best of a bad situation. So you gotta give him props for that. Everybody in the league knows who he is, knows what he does, and they still pick up the phone and make deals with him. So yeah, it's all about the money, man. Definitely all about the money. So I don't know which way they're gonna go with the Carl Scott thing. So that just means we got to get another defensive backs coach in here. And that is a situation, that's a position where we really need a good coach. Because, we're going to be filling in some gaps. We're going to be bringing some new players in. And we got to get some people in here that can play. We're going to have to, it's not going to be in a draft, I don't think. They're going to draft a couple of defensive back, maybe one DB, one safety later. But our main concern is linebacker, period. We have got to get good linebackers in here, but you already know Howie's track record. He probably ain't going to do that. He does not like to draft linebackers. We just got him to the point where we could convince him, like, Howie, you need to get some of these boys out to SEC. And then, of course, we had the Georgia Bulldog draft, and it turned out better for us. So hopefully some of that energy will go into this year's draft and looking at linebackers. Of course, everybody wants Jeremiah Trotter Jr. With the whole history of his dad here, his dad was the best linebacker, arguably, that we've ever had. I played with Seth Joyner, and based on what I can see, it's Seth and Trot are neck and neck as the best linebackers we've had in this city. So we do need linebackers. We'll see what they're going to do, though. I don't know. I would love to see that, but he'll probably going to end up drafting an offensive tackle or somebody, because Lane Johnson's probably not going to retire this year, but his day is coming very soon, and we got to have somebody. And I've said this before, as long as Jeff Stoutland doesn't go anywhere, I'm good. Jeff Stoutland is the Teflon Don right now. He is untouchable. You do not touch that man. You give him everything he wants, and you keep it moving. Jeff Stoutland is arguably one of the best coaches in the National Football League when it comes to offensive linemen, and nobody can really argue that. Everybody that he's come into contact with has gotten better, and we keep that man in place. So whoever we bring in to replace Lane Johnson, Mailata, whatever they're going to do, we already know who Cam Jurgens is going to replace Kelsey when Kelsey decides to step away. So I got a feeling that Jason Kelsey might surprise some people, because it's too much going on right now. He's having too much fun. And I'm saying that looking at it from a different standpoint of he's enjoying himself right now. And who's to say he won't say, I want to do this one more time? Who's to say he won't lump that in? All of this is part of his final farewell. You know what I'm saying? There's a good chance that could happen. I would not be surprised at all if Jason Kelsey says we're gonna run it back one more time, and he convinces Fletcher Cox. You already know Brandon Graham is staying, but if he can get the Super Friends together one more time and they figure it out, and they give it one more shot. Fletcher Cox was playing at a high level this year. I don't care what anybody say. He was still one of the best defensive linemen we had at his age. I think Fletcher's 34 now. Brandon Graham is 35, I believe. So we got some young players in there, so you can count the reps. So we'll see. Hey, listen, man, I see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. If they want to go out on a world tour, go out on a retirement tour together, and just wreck shop, because you got to look at it like this, man. We're going to be okay. We are going to be ready to ball and see if we can run it back. And the way Fletch was playing last year, BG, his pitch count was low. So I can see it happen. I wouldn't put it past him. Would not put it past him. Maybe if Cox is on board. I understand that, Michelle. But we'll see. I would like to see that. I would like to see he's not just going to shut it down, but he is enjoying his tour, having fun, and everything he can do. He's going to be he is going to be the person to see at the Super Bowl. He's going to be that dude. Right now, he might, and I say this, it's not tongue in cheek, but you understand what I'm saying. Right now, Jason Kelce is probably more popular than Travis, but not quite as popular as Taylor. But the reason why I'm saying he's gaining his popularity is because now all the Swifties like Jason Kelce too. Especially when he held up the little girl and she had the Taylor Swift sign and all that kind of stuff. Like, Jason Kelce just gets it, period. He just gets it. So we'll see what's going to happen. Michelle, I would like to see what Lamar is going to do in this offseason, what Baltimore is going to do this offseason, because you already know you guys are going to lose a couple of good coaches. Denard Wilson looks like he's already out. So I hope this doesn't mean that your window is closing. But there's a few different pieces that you guys still need. So we'll see what's going to happen with Lamar. But he's going to have a painful offseason because everybody's going to look at that last game and it's going to be like, ugh. That's a tough pill to swallow. So we'll see what's going to happen. We'll definitely see what's going to happen. So, if anybody hasn't yet, please, when I get done with the stream, we'll be done at like 12:50. When I get done with the stream, check out my channel. I got a conversation up with me and my buddy Ken Dunnick. Ken Dunnick is a former Eagle. He played in the 80s. He played with Dick Vermeil that year. Dick Vermeil went to the Super Bowl. He also played with the USFL, the Philadelphia Stars. So he did double duty with the Philadelphia teams, but me and him had a really good conversation last night. I just posted it this morning. So it's up available for you to check it out. Really good conversation. So check it out, please. And thank you. But let me see. I'm still trying to figure out why he didn't run the ball and what was the point of getting Delvin Cook and we didn't even see. That is a great question. That is a very good question. I don't understand because the Eagles are guilty of this too. Why do we continue to get these running backs or any skill position and you really don't use them? You really don't use them. We got Julio Jones and we used him sparingly, very sparingly. We talked all of that stuff in the offseason about DeAndre Swift and how we would be able to implement him in the running game. We said that the year before with Kenny Gainwell, and we never used him. Then we get Swift, who was a better back than Kenny Gainwell. And again, I'm saying that as a Kenny Gainwell fan. I was a huge Kenny Gainwell fan to the point where I wanted Kenny Gainwell to be running back number one going into this season. But we got DeAndre Swift. He proved what he can do, and we still didn't use him right. So I don't understand why they didn't use Dalvin Cook. It doesn't make sense. You get the pieces on the team and you never use them. And that is a situation that I see a lot of coaches do. whether you Little League, high school, whatever. I used to see that when I was coaching Little League here in South Jersey. You get your script and you get so used to your kids, and you got one kid sitting over there. You know the kid's fast. You know the kid can catch or whatever it is he can do. You have to form your plan based on your personnel. And when you get a new piece, you got to be able to use that piece. And most teams don't do that. And I've said this before, we wasted a whole year of Rashad Penny. If I was Rashad Penny, I would be pissed because you wasted a year of it. Time is the only thing you cannot get back. You steal my money, I can make some more. You take something from me, you can give it back. Time you cannot get back. You wasted a whole year of Rashad Penny's career. He did absolutely nothing. He did what? 2 kick returns? He had what? Maybe 6 carries? I bet you he didn't have 10 carries for the year. So why even bring him in? We should have kept Trey Sermon, a bigger back that can pass block. Penny can't pass block. DeAndre Swift can pass block. He just loses the battle of physics. He's not big enough. Gainwell was the best pass blocking running back we had. And you can't, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense. We had somebody in-house and we failed to use them. And that's not the first time that's happened. And it's not just simply with our team. That happens all across the league. Every team, there is a guy, and after the season, you'd be like, man, how come they didn't use such and such more? How come they didn't, look at the Cowboys preseason. Who were they talking about? What's the little running? Deuce Vaughn. They try to find a way to use him, and it's like you can't use him as an everyday. He's a gadget kind of back. So make some gadget plays, some screen plays, some different things like that. Use the kid's speed and bounce ability to your best ability. But teams forget that for some reason. I don't understand that. We get these guys in camp. I thought the same thing with Albert O. We were having issues at tight end with people getting injuries. We signed Albert O, and me like everybody else, I go look at Albert O's tape, and I'm like, yo, this dude is big, he's tall, and he's fast, and he can catch. Why is Denver getting rid of him? But I see the talent, and I'm like, we got to put something together for him. So I guess the knock on him was he wasn't a great blocker. Okay, find out what he can do. If he's the fastest tight end we got, find a way to use him. We had another the guy Tyree, the other tight end we had in there, the 6'7" dude that ran a 4.6. At 6'7" and you running a 4.6, listen, I'm gonna find a way to use you. The only thing I need you to do is go to the corner of the end zone. I'm gonna throw the ball up. You go up and get that ball like you dunking with 2 hands. That's what I need you to do. I thought the same thing with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. But he wasn't a receiver. He was, I don't know what he was. I don't know. I'm just saying you could have made something happen with that. You made the pick. Find a way to use him. That's your job as a coach. Find out what he's good at. Find out what he's good at. Arcega-Whiteside. His mother was an Olympian. His dad was, I believe, a professional, or I think his dad was an Olympian and his mom was a volleyball player or a Brazilian basketball player, something like that. They both play sports at the highest level. So you know the boy's got talent. You know he's got natural ability. Again, throw the ball in the corner of the end zone, tell him to go up like he dunking with 2 hands. Find a way to use the kid. Whoever you get in here, find a way to use them. And we do not do that at all. We had these guys sitting on the sideline, and it's like, what's the point? And I know you only got a certain amount of roster spots, but damn it, you got to figure out who's good at doing what. That's your job. Know your personnel. And sometimes it seems like we don't. So I don't get it. But going back to what I was talking about, there was an article on Bleeding Green where they were talking about that the Eagles were very interested in Bill Belichick. And we knew that. And like I said before, the reason why The Belichick thing wasn't going to work was because you got to give up control. Howie's got to give up control, and they don't want that headache. And mind you, Belichick's going to play Belichick's going to play so he can win, 18 games or however many he needs to pass Don Shula, and then he's out. And not for nothing, who's to say if the year doesn't go right next year for Sirianni, Belichick might be in here anyways. That's the one thing about Sirianni. Like, he going to go out swinging. And I don't think he's a bad coach whatsoever, but we can't have another ending like we had this year. There was no excuse for that. So the good thing about it is there's something to be said when you enter a situation and you know exactly where you stand. There is no misunderstanding. And right now, Sirianni knows that if he doesn't produce next year, he's probably on the way out. So he knows exactly where he stands. There is no misunderstanding, no miscommunications, nothing. He knows what's up. And that's really the best place you want to be. Because picture yourself in a situation where you got to get it done. You under fire. Got to be done tomorrow. Got to get it done. Sometimes you do your best work in situations like that. So you don't want for it to take that, but it is what it is. It ain't fair. Fair is for Ferris wheels and fried Oreos. Shout out to Joy Taylor for saying that. But yeah, man. So I don't think Sirianni's past inexperience, man. So I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. But it's one of those situations where you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the way that I see it. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's the type of person Sirianni strikes me as. He can have them tough conversations. My only thing with Sirianni, and this is just a personal thing, is I think sometimes he could be loyal to a fault. And when I say to a fault, meaning if it's time for you to make a decision, does his loyalty get in the way? Because I come from the era of Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells, and Dick Vermeil was just coming back into the game, but coaches like that, where they weren't afraid to shake your hand and say, you did a great job for us, but we're going to go in a different direction. That's how they would put it for you. Hey, there's anything I can do for you, blah, blah, blah. But they would let you know, I appreciate everything you did, but we have to go in a different direction. They were not afraid to make those hard decisions. Bill Parcells was notorious for that. For getting rid of somebody so he could get his guys and establish his culture or whatever he wanted to do. But it worked because he got Super Bowls out of it. And he coached some of the most difficult players in the history of football. So, the whole, Michelle, don't get me started on social media, man. There's a whole thing I got. Me and Ken had a conversation with that about the whole social media issue, because it's the thing with the social media is I didn't have to deal with that when I played, but it is such a distraction, and it's a distraction that the players are putting on themselves. And the reason why they are taking that risk is because the money it can generate now. Now you talk about a whole different revenue stream. Why you think everybody got a podcast now and they airing out family business? And when I say family business, that's what we used to call it in the locker room. If you close them doors and you got rid of all of the coaches and it was just everybody on the team, no trainers, no coaches, no assistant coaches, just the players, they would tell you we hashing out family business right now. It doesn't leave this room. Now you don't have that no more. With social media, they putting it out there in the ethos, and once it's gone, it's gone. And then you got situations like Micah Parsons. Then you got what Kadarius Toney did the other day. Then you got Kenny Gain. I never thought this was happening to the Eagles, but when Kenny Gainwell is going back and forth with somebody on social media at halftime of a game, how would you do that? And I always go back. I look at that situation where the first thing was this was the first thing. I believe it was Julian Edelman when he was with the Patriots. I couldn't remember if he was retired. I think he was still playing, but he was overseas somewhere, off season, on vacation, and I guess he had hooked up with some girl, and she recorded him sleep, and she posted it on her MySpace or whatever it was at the time. And it wasn't like salacious or anything like that, but she did it. This man was asleep, didn't know about it. She posted it, and I believe that was one of the first things that like went viral that had anything to do with the league. And I was like, wow. And he wasn't married. I don't know if he was seeing anybody. I don't know what that situation was, but he was not married. So it wasn't like he was cheating on anybody or anything like that. But still, what if she didn't care and just put it out there like that anyway? So that was the first social media salvo that was launched. And then you had the situation with Antonio Brown when he I think he IG lived the post-game speech by Mike Tomlin in the locker room. That was the other one, because you already know if you've been in that situation, coaches are going to say some things that are supposed to stay in the room. It's family business. And he broke that rule. That's why they got rid of him. That's why they got rid of him. And now he has not been right since he left Pittsburgh. But and even more so with and this is a topic for another day, but I'm gonna say it right now. Antonio Brown has not been right since he got that concussion from Vontaze Burfict against Cincinnati. When Vontaze, go look that up. Look up Vontaze Burfict hit. I think Cincinnati was at Pittsburgh. And it was, matter of fact, he didn't even catch the pass. The pass was way out of his range, and the dude just took a cheap shot. Antonio Brown has never been right since that hit. And you can look up studies that show from car wrecks, people have different personalities coming out of head trauma. And that's what I believe happened to Antonio Brown. Now he putting out videos talking about CTE is a lie and all of that kind of stuff. And I was like, you go ahead with that, because CTE is real, and guys that play, we know. I'm lucky my marbles are still rolling around, and most of them are still in there. But I will tell you right now, my short-term memory is garbage, hot garbage. And I know it is from what I did playing football. That ain't no joke. That ain't no joke. Somebody could introduce themselves, tell me your name, 5 minutes, I will forget their name. But I can tell you, back in 1980, when I was 10 years old, the first time I ever got a concussion. I remember that day. I could tell you specific points in my life and what happened. I can remember way back then, but my short-term memory, garbage. That's from banging. So there's some real stuff to that. So when Slay was talking about we don't know how to tackle, yes, we knew how to tackle, but we took the damage. So this era could do it right, and they still can't do it right. So, very interesting stuff, man. Very interesting stuff in this era of the NFL. But it is what it is. It evolves. It keeps moving, and they making a ton of money. What you gonna do? You gonna keep watching? Just like a good example when talking about making money. As a matter of fact, I got to go back on and I got to cancel that thing. When they broadcast that Kansas City game on Peacock, I was mad as hell. But you know what I did? I plopped down my little $11 for Peacock for that month. I got to cancel that too. But they know if you want to watch the game at the end of the day, if you want to watch it, you're going to watch it. Because the reality of it is you'll waste 10 to 20 bucks on something else and get nothing from it. How many times you go to order fast food or something, you spend 20, 30 bucks on it and you don't like it and you end up throwing it away. You wasted your money. Happens all the time. So I figure if I'm gonna pay my 11 to 15 bucks or whatever it was, I'm gonna at least enjoy what I was watching. That's how they get you. They constantly finding ways to wring you out. Get them last dollars out of there. So, yeah, it's crazy. It'll be interesting. What I don't know what they do this week. I know the Shrine game is coming up. East West Shrine game. The Senior Bowl happened. The Senior Bowl is basically turned into the pre-combine. That's what the Senior Bowl is. All those players that either didn't get invited or maybe they're low on the radar. They go to the Senior Bowl because all it is one big workout full of one-on-one drills. And that to me, that's how somebody like Brock Purdy can be missed and drop all the way down to Mr. Irrelevant. That's how that happens. You got so much movement now that everything is a workout. Everything is a showcase now. You can't just go play a game. Everything has to be a showcase. Your experienced players are going to be with one program maybe 2 years now before they go through the transfer portal. Because it's going to be a situation now where if you're looking at a kid out of college and he stayed at one program for more than 3 years, he's a lock. His experience points are going to go through the roof because with the transfer portal, everybody's moving all around. If the minute that things ain't right or they feel it's not going in their favor, everybody's going to bolt. And I heard, I believe it was Gino Ariema was talking about this, and he was saying, "Where's the lessons you get from losing? If the minute things don't go your way, you can bolt." He was talking about having problems fielding a team of kids that would want to stay on his team because he was competing with other coaches that would tell kids, "You can play on my team and you don't even have to come to practice. Just show up for the games." So the whole practice element is out of it. Now, it's not that bad in basketball as it is or it's not that bad in football like it is in basketball, but the lesson is the same because you got kids. It doesn't manifest the same way in football, but how many kids are in the transfer portal? And there's still rules about the transfer portal I don't understand. You can only transfer twice. And then once you go somewhere, you're stuck. You got to deal with it. So there's a lot of different things that they throw in there that I still really don't understand. But at the end of the day, if you got a kid, the minute you as a coach, and I know this happens in college, when you're trying to discipline a kid and get him to buy into what you're trying to do, if he doesn't like it, he's gone. And the difference is when I played, if you wanted to transfer, you had to sit out that year. So you lost the year of eligibility. Now, these kids can transfer, play right away, and a lot of these kids are getting the extra year because of COVID. I got a kid I coached in Little League who's now getting ready for the combines and all of that kind of stuff. He was a 6-year senior at Kentucky, Devin Leary. Played 3.5 years at North Carolina State, broke all of Phillip Rivers' records, got hurt, had the COVID red shirt. Then he transferred to Kentucky when Will Levis left. And he started for Kentucky this year. Had a pretty decent year. And he's going to go getting ready for I think he's playing in the Shrine game. And he'll probably end up at the combine, and there's a good chance he'll be playing on Sundays. Maybe he'll be a backup, or maybe he'll be a scout team player, or maybe he'll get a futures deal or something. But his prospects looking pretty good. That never would have happened back in my day. So the way that things have evolved and the way that things change in the college game is crazy. It's crazy. But that's the way it's going. Follow the money. Follow the money. And I blame that specifically and solely on the NCAA because the NCAA, in my opinion, was so corrupt. All the people making the money off them kids all them years. Everybody could tell you stories. If you were a college athlete, what you could do, how much money you could make if you worked, if you was on scholarship, if you had Pell Grant, all of that kind of stuff would determine what you could or couldn't do to have some money while you were on campus. And on top of that, somebody like me, when I was like at EKU, were they selling number 40 jerseys before I got there? Probably not. So the amount of revenue that somebody comes in and can bring you, like, they didn't count that. And I've told this story before when I watched what happened to, I can't remember what year it was. If I was still in college, I think I may have been out. But that kid, Jeremy Bloom from Colorado, the skier, and they made him quit. They made him give up his football scholarship because he was a Olympic skier and he had sponsors. He had sponsors to cover his Olympic costs, and they deemed him not an amateur. So he had to give up his football scholarship. And I'm like, all this money the NCAA is making off these kids and these universities and all the stuff that they selling, and you gonna tell a kid because he got Olympic dreams and he was that good that he's got to give up his football scholarship because he's not an amateur? Like, get out of here. What's done after that? So all of this stuff with the transfer portal, all the trouble they have in every sport, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, all of it, I place it solely at the feet of the NCAA. They get what they get. So that's my rant. I'm sorry. So, but yeah, in any case, man, it'll be good watching the Super Bowl next week. It's going to really get hot and heavy with the stories, and they still got a lot of people that need to be hired as coaches. So it's going to be a very good news cycle this upcoming week. So enjoy your weekend. I will be on another show tonight at 7 p.m. and I'm trying to think what's the name of it. I'm gonna have to check my tweets in my Facebook group because I'm gonna put it on there. I don't know what the name of this dude's show is, but I believe what he told me I'm supposed to be on tonight, along with Seth Joyner, one of my teammates from back in the day. So that should be fun. But it's about that time. It's 12:48. So go ahead, let you guys go. I appreciate you joining me. Remember, I am doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live at lunch. So if for some reason I'm not on at about 12:10, that means maybe something popped up and I couldn't make it. But I am going to effort to go live from 12:10 to 12:50 Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I promise I will be done before you have to clock back in. So you got plenty of time to finish your sandwich, wash your hands, and get back to it. All right. I appreciate you. Thanks for everybody listening. Somebody said they're in the bad area, so they kept going in and out. But listen, as soon as we're done with this conversation, you'll be able to watch it again and stream it from YouTube. So, but I appreciate y'all joining me. Keep the numbers up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. I am on a race. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers before the Super Bowl. So I'm almost there. I'm almost at 1,900. So I'm getting there. I'm gonna have to sprint this last week. So help me out. Share this with your friends and tell them to subscribe and have a listen. I appreciate you. All right, get back to work. You guys have a good weekend. Be safe. Appreciate you. Go Birds.